Charity Dingle finds herself in an increasingly desperate situation in upcoming Emmerdale episodes as the burden of two devastating secrets becomes too much to bear. The much-loved resident was sexually assaulted by Dr Caitlin Todd several weeks ago. Before the incident occurred, Todd had uncovered the truth about baby Leyla's parentage and began blackmailing Charity in exchange for her silence. Demanding an enormous £100,000, Todd left Charity frantically searching for a way to raise the money. To intensify the pressure, Caitlin warned that she would expose the truth during Sarah Sugden's birthday celebration if Charity failed to meet the deadline. Unable to cope, Charity turned to alcohol in an effort to escape her troubles. However, after drinking, she found the courage to confront Caitlin and declared that she was free to reveal the secret if she wished. Charity's defiance caused Dr. Todd to feel she was losing control, ultimately resulting in the violent assault. Following the traumatic ordeal, Charity went straight to the police and reported what had happened. DS Reed informed her that Todd would be taken into custody. Although she was arrested, Caitlin was later released because of insufficient evidence after insisting that the encounter had been consensual. Soon afterwards, Caitlin departed the village to begin a new position in Sheffield, avoiding punishment and leaving Charity devastated. Charity feels unable to confide in anyone about the assault because doing so would also expose the truth surrounding baby Leyla. The emotional strain of carrying both secrets is taking a serious toll, and those closest to her have started noticing that something is wrong. Eventually, she tells Sarah and Mackenzie Boyd that she is suffering from postnatal depression. The false explanation only deepens the crisis, particularly as Sarah starts blaming herself for Charity's declining mental state. In scenes airing next week, Charity reaches breaking point, gets into a car and drives away from the village. A newly released preview shows Charity at her lowest, standing beside a lake while deliberately ignoring repeated calls from Mackenzie. Back in the village, Vanessa Woodfield, Sarah, Noah Dingle, and Mac are all growing increasingly worried about her disappearance. Overcome with concern, Mackenzie contacts the police. Shortly afterwards, Charity is shocked when an unfamiliar person suddenly emerges from nearby bushes. Noticing her distress, the stranger attempts to comfort her, but when she reaches out, Charity reacts by striking her. Surprisingly, the stranger responds calmly, suggesting that Charity's reaction reflects someone who is uncomfortable with being touched without consent. But who exactly is this mysterious newcomer? The woman reassures Charity that she can trust her, leaving Charity close to finally revealing everything. Yet could opening up prove to be a mistake? What if this stranger is a new arrival in the village with no reason to keep Charity's secrets safe? Meanwhile, another crisis is brewing as Chaz Dingle appears close to reaching her own limit while supporting Mac through the ordeal. Could the truth finally come out and bring Charity the freedom she desperately needs? Moira Dingle was dealt another devastating blow in Emmerdale as Kane's cancer battle took a troubling new turn. Already shaken after discovering that Kane had tried to make a move on Charity while she was in prison, Moira confronted her husband, only to be left stunned by yet another shocking revelation. The episode opened with Moira sitting by herself after her heated clash with Kane. It soon emerged that he had spent the night on Chas's sofa before eventually returning home to Wishingwell Cottage. Determined to clear the air, Moira insisted that they needed to talk. Kane, however, claimed he wasn't in the right frame of mind for a discussion, but Moira refused to let the matter drop. Reminding him that he had made a serious mistake, she urged him to explain his actions, although Kane insisted she wouldn't understand. Moira pleaded with him to open up, pointing out that they could receive important news about his health at any moment, and that they couldn't continue carrying unresolved issues into such a difficult period. Eventually, Kane admitted that his recent behaviour had been influenced by his cancer diagnosis. As he spoke honestly about his fears and emotions, Moira began to soften, and Kane apologised for everything that had happened. Before they could continue, however, the hospital contacted him. Later, Kane returned home with disappointing news. Doctors had confirmed that the cancer had progressed locally and recommended a course of radiotherapy. Trying to stay optimistic, Moira focused on the fact that the illness was still treatable and insisted they should be thankful that there were options available. Her relief quickly disappeared when Kane revealed that he had no intention of undergoing the treatment. Explaining his decision, Kane admitted that he had researched the possible side effects and decided that radiotherapy was not something he wanted to face. Concerned, Moira questioned whether his refusal was connected to the emotional struggles he had been experiencing in recent weeks. She apologized for previous arguments and assured him that physical intimacy was unimportant to her, stressing that all she wanted was for him to survive. Despite her heartfelt plea, Kane remained determined not to proceed with the treatment. He then dropped another bombshell by revealing that he had no desire to tell the rest of the family about his diagnosis, leaving Moira heartbroken and at a loss. Can Moira persuade Kane to change his mind before it is too late? Emmerdale favourite Kev Townsend is making a dramatic return to the village, bringing plenty of chaos, a huge family secret, and, apparently, an impressive lemon drizzle cake recipe. The unpredictable character first arrived on the soap last year as Robert Sugden's husband from prison. After falsely claiming to be seriously ill in order to secure an early release, Kev decided to relocate to the village in the hope of continuing his relationship with Robert outside prison walls. Unfortunately for Kev, Robert had already chosen to rekindle his romance with Dingle. Hoping to inherit Kev's money after his supposed death, Robert initially kept his reunion with Aaron hidden. However, maintaining two relationships at once soon became impossible. Heartbroken by Robert's rejection, Kev reacted in dramatic fashion by taking Robert, Aaron and Liam Kavanagh hostage, using a sword he had purchased from a pawn shop. Eventually, Kev accepted that there was no future for him and Robert, leaving the village without ever facing legal consequences for his actions. He briefly resurfaced later in 2025 during John Sugden's revenge plot, but instead of becoming involved, he chose to warn Aaron about the danger that lay ahead. In hindsight, it was probably a wise decision, considering John's scheme to eliminate Robert ultimately resulted in the devastating Corriedale crash. Away from the Robron storyline, Kev also uncovered a life-changing secret. Lewis Barton is actually his biological son. Lewis remains completely unaware of the truth, but with Kev heading back to the village, the chances of the secret being exposed appear increasingly likely. Speaking about the possibility of Kev becoming part of Lewis's life, actor Chris Coggle suggested that his character would genuinely attempt to make amends for mistakes from his own past. Chris explained that Kev's difficult upbringing has shaped him significantly, meaning he would want to be a better parent than those he had himself. However, he admitted that fatherhood would not come naturally to someone as unconventional as Kev. Episodes currently available on ITVX and YouTube see Lewis placed in grave danger after being abducted by masked men. As the new week unfolds, Kev learns about Lewis's disappearance and immediately feels compelled to help. According to Chris, Kev's initial reaction is to dismiss the situation and tell everyone to leave him alone. However, once he realizes Lewis's life could be at risk, his paternal instincts take over, and he becomes determined to step in. Chris revealed that he is thrilled to be returning to the soap and cannot wait for audiences to see Kev's latest comeback. When viewers next encounter Kev, they will discover that he has been running his own travelling cake business. His mobile bakery venture is hilariously named A Slice of Kevin. That business is what has been keeping him occupied, although it could soon make its way to the village as well. As for future storylines, Chris already has an idea in mind. The actor admitted that he would love to see Kev eventually take on the powerful Tate family. It's certainly a prospect many viewers would enjoy watching unfold. Emmerdale is broadcast on ITV1 every weekday at 8 p.m, with episodes also available to stream on ITVX.